Welcome to my Life Alyx review. So let's start with the gameplay of Life Alyx. So I'm very new to VR. I only recently received my headset about a week and a half ago, so I'm still trying to get used to the feeling of being able to interact with every single thing in the world. I found myself at some point just walking around picking things up, opening drawers, searching through shelves and testing the limits of the physics. There is honestly so much freedom in this game. At the beginning, there are marker pens which you can use to write and draw on the windows. Like, how cool is that? Valve have thought of every single little thing in this game. You can put stuff on your face, like wear this tiger mask in the zoo. You can wear items on your head, like a cone. There are hard hats you can wear as well. I've even seen videos online of people putting a box over the head crab, and the box will move around on the floor with the head crab inside it. I absolutely love the scavenger element in this game. It takes what Half-Life had before with the supply boxes and times it by 100. There are also still supply boxes in the game, but not as frequently as in the past iterations. It really is like on the trailer where they search through the shelf to find the shotgun ammo just in time to kill the Combine guard. You'll find yourself searching every last bit of the levels to try find ammo, medkits or resins. I do also miss the jumping and sprinting mechanic in this game, as it would have added a lot to the immersion, but I can see why Valve didn't add it. It will make newcomers to VR sick and might leave them with a sour taste in their mouth. As someone who does experience motion sickness in VR, it isn't the most pleasant thing in the world, and it does sort of put you off the games. Like, I played Red Matter and that made me a bit motion sick, and I didn't really want to play it for a bit. With this game being the first big AAA title on VR, it will more than likely be people's first experience with VR, and if Valve had the jumping and sprinting mechanics in the game, I believe that it would drive more people away than bring more people into VR. So Valve have incorporated a very nice element, in my opinion, into this game with the upgrade of guns. You have a currency called resin which you find scattered among the world to upgrade your weapons. You can put sights on them, extend the mags, put grenade launchers on them. It's amazing what you can do. This is a really good addition in my opinion. It sort of reminds me of like the old Dead Space, where you start off with a normal gun and by the end you have an ultimate killing machine. Also, the shooting feels so good in this game. I hadn't really tried shooting guns in VR before I played Life Alyx. Instead of just aiming a mouse and shooting, I found myself ducking behind walls and cover, leaning out to get the right angle and shooting, pulling car doors open to hide behind for cover. It's just incredible. You can move your guns however you like. If you want to put them to the side and shoot, go ahead. If you want to shoot it over cover while you're still behind it, go ahead. It just feels so natural. Instead of your gun just being in the centre of the screen no matter what happens, you can hold it how you want and it helps a lot with the immersion. One feature which I absolutely love is manual reloading. It is really intense when you've got zombies and head crabs and the Combine all closing in on you and you have to reload. It is a lot harder than you think when you're under pressure. The combat feels really stellar and polished. While not being too hard, not too easy either. You won't be facing the vast number of enemies you used to in Half-Life 1 and 2, as the combat is a little harder in VR, with having to manually aim your gun rather than just point a crosshair at an enemy. The sights also highlight weak points on the enemies, such as gas canisters on the back of some Combine soldiers, which if shot will explode and kill the soldier, which feels so good when you get that shot, and so on. One downfall of the combat is there is no melee combat system in place. I would have loved to have picked up a frying pan and beat a zombie to death with it, or tried defeating a herd of them with a pipe, but unfortunately you can't. I really like the new HUD as well. Your ammo is shown on the new gloves, which I'll get into, and your health is as well. The gloves also show your resin when you don't have anything equipped, which is quite handy. There is nothing obscuring your view on the screen, which also, again, adds to the immersion. So talking of the gloves are a new feature. They're called the Russells, named after their creator. They act like the gravity gun out of Half-Life 2, where you can aim at an item, and with a flick of your wrist it'll come right into your hand. These were very handy when picking something up off the ground, or something which is just out of reach, as you don't have to bend down or stretch to reach something. They have also added new enemy types in this game. There is a heavy Combine soldier, which is quite scary when you first see them due to the size of them. They are looking to rush you with a shield and a shotgun, and can also partially blind you with the lights they have on their shield. You need to look out for them on the flanks. Also, there is a new minigunner Combine soldier whose sole aim is to stay as far away from you and blast you with bullets to stop you from peeking out of cover. They stop every couple of seconds to charge their weapon back up, so use that time wisely. You also have the standard Combine soldier who just looks to shoot at you, plain and simple really. When these enemy types are coming at you though, it can be tricky to deal with sometimes. It keeps you on your toes and forces you to make quick decisions about what weapon to use for what situation on what enemy type. There are also Also, some new alien species, which include a new armoured headcrab, who have a solid shell surrounding them, so that you have to land a precise shot on their underbelly to kill them, which can be very tricky sometimes. The brand new lightning dog as seen in the Half-Life Alyx announcement trailer are quite tricky to deal with as they scatter and scurry around the floor and through vents. I won't say too much about them as I don't want to give too much away. The story is amazing throughout the whole game. No task feels too tedious or unimportant. It took me 23 hours to complete on my first playthrough, which I was amazed at, as I thought it only took me about 12 hours. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. Russell, Alex's sidekick in her ear the whole time is hilarious. He has come to be one of my favourite video game characters of all time.
I'm really starting to think I shouldn't be breathing this stuff.
Agreed. Just keep moving. Maybe breathe less.
The story really starts to heat up at the end, but you'll have to find out that for yourself. It of course sets up the story of Half-Life 3, which I hope we don't have to wait a near 13 years for again. There are various puzzles to complete along the way, which progressively get harder throughout the game. At each weapon upgrade station, there is a puzzle which you have to complete, where you have to drag an orb with beams coming off it so it lines up with all the red orbs. Probably didn't explain that the best, but you'll see it on screen. Another one is where you have to get the power to a certain area, so you're scanning walls for the wires and joining them up to make a complete circuit. There are puzzles to open containers also, containing loot. This is simply to drag a blue dot to an objective and avoid the red dots in the process. These actually get a lot harder near the end, so don't underestimate them. The last one is a simple memory join the colour one pretty much, which I personally found the most boring of the bunch, but it gets the job done. These are probably the best graphics VR has to offer right now. When you first load into this game and you're overlooking City 17 and the Citadel being built is quite astonishing. The game has you traversing through some amazing terrain and landscapes, such as head crab nests, dark eerie tunnels, alleys, subway station, and my personal favourite, the zoo. With some more scary than others, though I am glad they didn't put anything as scary and eerie as Ravenholm, as I don't think I would have been able to cope with that in VR. It is amazing how far the graphics have come in such a short space of time in VR. Considering I'm playing it through virtual desktop on my Oculus Quest, it's still amazing quality. Some even say it's better on the Oculus Quest because you don't have any wires getting in the way. The new textured Combine Forces look a lot more menacing than they have in the past. I'm not sure if it's because you're in VR, but they seem a lot taller. So to wrap it all up, when this lockdown started, I tried to get into a new game series that I never played before. So like everyone else, I loaded up the Steam homepage and saw a game recommended for me called Black Mesa. I clicked on it and it had amazing reviews, so I thought, why the hell not, it looks fun. So I bought it and started playing it. I was hooked, and later found out that it was a fan remake of the first Half-Life. I loved every second of the game, and then I played Half-Life 2 and the episodes that followed in quick succession. I then saw the next iteration, which was a VR exclusive, which admittedly I was a bit disappointed at the time, because I thought VR headsets were still thousands of pounds. But then I'd done a little research into them, found out the Oculus were doing headsets for £400. I couldn't resist. So I bought it along with Half-Life Alyx and wow, I was impressed. The game feels years ahead of its time, with the amazing physics engine which allowed you to interact with 99% of the things in the world. Some of them you can't, but hey ho. To the amazing combat that challenges you to think more than just a normal duck behind cover, pop up, shoot, duck, down, reload, all that everyone is used to. In this game it feels like you're directing a movie, trying to get the most impressive kills and pulling off the best looking shots. Also, I really hope Valve make the next Half-Life game in VR as well, as it elevates the whole feeling behind the game in my opinion. I know that there is a mod that you can play with a keyboard and mouse, but please don't do this. You'll thank yourself when you finally get a headset and boot up Half-Life Alyx for the first time, trust me. I loved every single minute and second of this game. I'd highly recommend it to anyone who can get their hands on a VR headset and play this game immediately. So my final verdict is, get this game at all costs, any cost you can. If you're even new to Half-Life or a Half-Life fan, honestly, it is one of the best video game experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Thank you guys, so this was my first review. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash a like, subscribe, and leave me any constructive criticism in the comments. I'll see you next time.
Set!